This is Will here. He was one of the first wrestlers I ever met in Australia. You showed up at our gym when I was a blue belt.
Yes, sir.
Back in days, JT and I were blue belts. We hadn't really met each other yet.
No, we hadn't.
And this guy turns up at our gym as a wrestler. And I remember going to a local competition and you were shooting double legs on people and then sending them to hospital.
Yes.
Your fucking takedown. We'd never seen wrestling before. What was it like when you came to Oz and you saw that there was a place where there was literally no wrestling happening in Jiu Jitsu at that time?
I was shocked, to be honest, just because it's so prominent in the U.S. I figured that it's like this everywhere, right? And I got there, I was like, damn, this doesn't make sense. It was non-existent. It really was. It really was. A lot of judo, or at least attempted judo, not always.
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, try.
We had the names,
but you guys like to stand up. You just didn't know what to do to stand up because the leg lock game wasn't around yet.
Yeah, that's right.
So
it was all upper body control.
So, yeah, it was all upper body control.
2009, 2010.
Yeah, it was all upper body control, top passing. So I was like, oh, this is pretty easy to teach here because you guys already like standing.
Yeah.
So you're a strong community.
Yeah.
By far, one of the strongest community of jiu-jitsu practitioners I came across. But I think that, like I said earlier, you guys were pretty well defined within the fitness and nutrition and the whole science base. You were ahead of the time.
Well, so what do you think now? Like, we're obviously here for day 2 ADCC.
Yes.
Wrestling is a huge part of this competition also, and it's a huge part of no game now.
Yes.
What's your take on that? Having seen, say, what it was when you came and visited us, seeing how Jiu-Jitsu has now changed. What's your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, let's see if you guys get this perspective. It's like if you teach somebody an armbar right now, are they a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner? No, they just know the technique. So hopefully the ones who are listening can see this aspect how I'm saying. What you're seeing is takedowns, but it's not wrestling. The new generation like Mika, he's wrestling. He has the tactical approach behind him.
Right.
What's the difference between those?
So you're talking
It's huge difference.
Grappling for BJJ?
Yeah. No. Just in general, if you learn the aspect of just in general, NCAA wrestling or Olympic wrestling, you would understand and be able to apply it in Jiu-Jitsu because you know the application. For instance, an armbar, right? You have a belly down armbar, you have whatever other armbar, and so you got so many, so it's very confusing to the mind. They don't understand the mechanics of what makes an armbar. It's the negative pressure to the elbow type ordeal concept. The same thing applies in Jiu-Jitsu. There's a lot more tactical behind it than what you guys are seeing. But the guys like Mika and Rotolo and PJ, do you see they have the tactical aspect? You see them flowing, they're in their stands, they're loose, they're not concerned. That part of the majority of Jiu-Jitsu does not understand that aspect of it yet. So what you're looking at, you're like, oh man, you're seeing a lot of wrestling. No, you're seeing a lot of bulldozing. You're seeing a lot of I'm gonna get you out of the circle, I'm gonna put pressure. But the tactical aspect is not there yet. Don't you see a lot of the hand fighting? This is you don't see this in wrestling, because you're supposed to arm drags, which it happens to the Gabby.
Yeah.
Because you got, you know what I mean? Little set, so it's not there yet, but it's moving forward in the right direction.
I think we see it in isolated techniques.
Yes.
They're single leg.
Yes.
Or double leg.
Yes.
Whereas you're kind of talking about this 3-dimensional
Always.
understanding.
Look, I'll give you an idea, right? So in wrestling, we tend to bundle up everything. So if you tell somebody a double leg, they can be on their knees and they're going to reach in this aspect because chances are the legs are going to be open here. You know what I mean? Because that's the tactical approach of it. You know what I mean? I don't have to see it. My body does the scene for me. And you guys, Jiu-Jitsu does it very well in the grappling, but they don't do it in the stand-up.
Yeah.
So that part is missing, and then that's the tactical approach of the technique. Then there's the tactical approach of the actual, competition side, where in wrestling, the most common thing is give them 1, not 2. In wrestling, you take somebody down, if they escape free and clear from you, that's 1 point. But if they reverse you, that's 2 points. So in wrestling, the tactical approach as a coach is give them 1, not 2, meaning if you're in a bad position, give him that 1. He may tie the score, or he may be up by 1. But it's better than giving them the 2. So the whole tactical approach of what takedowns to do on the edge of the mat, what takedowns to do in the center of the mat, what takedowns to do in this 30 seconds. That's all wrestling. We drill that. But you're not seeing that part here. Not yet. It's getting in with the new crowd for sure.
I want to jump in at this point to give some context. Now, just for any of you watching this, now you are a no-gi world champion, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't know that. And the first time I saw this guy was probably around the same time, maybe a little bit after we were training with Joe. I was in Melbourne, I think it was 2013.
Yes.
I just come back from Brazil. I was a purple belt. I was kicking the hell out of people. This guy was more grappling. He was wrecking, I think, brown or black belt category. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, you know that Joe guy from Sydney? And I was like, no. He's like, isn't he your brother? I was like, no. who you saying looks like me?
Yeah,
I got like,
yeah.
it was like, I was like, yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
No. It was interesting because he was kicking everyone's ass. And I was like, it was one of the first times I've ever heard about Joe without having actually met you. And it was through you, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
And you were killing that in
crazy.
small grappling
Yo,
tournament.
and I was so tired. You may not thought so. So I was like, let me play look at the mental aspect, right? So I was tired, I was beat. And I was like, all right, after every match, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna run around the stadium.
Yeah,
no matter
crazy.
how tired I'm gonna be. Because I was like, I'm gonna try to like twist up everybody's head.
All
And
the
then-
jiu-jitsu guys are sitting, this guy's just fucking cutting laps.
And so I hated life. And I hated life. But I was like, I got to, that's the aspect,
Yeah.
I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, they know I'm a wrestler, so I gotta do this to make them feel like, yo, he's above.
Yeah.
Like that, and then on my last match, I pulled guard. I pulled guard. So like, but yeah, that's crazy. That like, I didn't know that you guys didn't meet before.
Yeah.
Holy
Those early
shit.
days.
Holy shit. So I was telling him like that was the beautiful thing that when I saw the bulletproof, like my students were talking about it, I was like, bulletproof. All right, let me check. And holy fuck, that's so. Holy shit, that's JT. What the fuck? And I was happy that it got together because like I saw you and I was like, yo, I knew you knew your shit. And then I trained with you and I knew you knew your shit. So when I saw you put it together, yo, that made me that was more happy than seeing you guys win a world title. Because like I told him, like he still doesn't. Like I know it's still hard to believe it, but I told him out of all the schools I've been to, right, throughout the world, like there was only 2 that I felt that I saw enough quality in there that I was like, this is the best spots I've been to. And not because y'all won world titles or the coaching world title, but because I was like, these guys were working regular jobs. You know what I mean? Like doing your own shit. And you guys were that fucking good. So like if you do the math, like, if you actually put your life into it, if you decided to do it, like you would have been champions. But you guys are like off on a fucking island really that like didn't get exposure and you guys were making it work like that. Just like O'Flanagan, right? Like at his school, like there was nobody there, but like I enjoyed it because that was the case. Like these are normal Joes that were killing it. You guys didn't start at 5-year-olds. You guys didn't have sponsors. Nobody had faith in UK grappling. Nobody had faith in Australian grappling. Look what it is now. Like everybody's shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm shocked that you guys are not taking over the world more.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like,
don't speak too soon.
Yeah.
This video yet?
Yeah, well, once video comes out, it's over.
Thank you, bro.
No, man. Follow him.
Appreciate you, bro.
Awesome.
You heard it right here. Will Abreu.
That's crazy. I thought y'all knew each other before.